What is going on, guys? Welcome to Atypical Outdoors, and it has been a while, but it is about time that we get back to this format, having a good time, talking about information, talking about truly how the weather affects bass fishing, and also how it can help you get the biggest bite that you ever have had before in your life. Now, we're gonna give it a couple seconds and let some people get on here, and then we'll get straight into this video and break down what I think about weather. And hopefully you guys can chime in and tell me, how do you think weather affects fish, and do they behave more versus prefrontal and also cold fronts? So we'll give it a couple seconds and then we go straight into it, guys. I hope 2020 has been a great year for you guys so far. Hopefully there's going to be many giant bass caught on this channel and also with you guys. All right, let's see. Like I said, we'll give it a couple seconds, get everything together, and then we'll jump straight into it. If you guys would, just give me a thumbs up when you actually have joined in. And like I said, we'll hop straight into it. Cool. All right, for me, truthfully, some of the best things that I look for when chasing these giant and big bass, it's actually going to be prefrontal conditions. And simply what that means is we're going to try to fish right before a big storm comes in. That's going to be one of the biggest things you want to do. When you're looking at the weather, you want to look and see what days are going to be right before a big storm system rolls in. And also, one of the bigger things is actually going to be that moon phase. So for me, it is generally two big moon phases that I like to fish. The first one is actually going to be the new moon. The second one is going to be the full moon. Peyton, what's up, man? Good to have you in the house, man. Now, for me, the new moon is going to be the moon phase when you catch the most numbers. Cool, cool. We got everybody rolling in now. Malcolm, good to have you in the house. Jared, what's up too, man? Now, the new moon is going to be the moon phase when you actually get the most bites to me typically. And on the new moon and also the full moon, I like to fish 3 days before and 3 days after. Still, hey, what's going on, buddy? I hope you caught a fish on that lure I gave you, man. Appreciate all the help, buddy. So I actually, guys, still was the guy that actually helped me catch that big fish, man, and get some photos of it. Now, that big fish that I caught recently that was 26 inches was actually caught on the full moon phase. Now, so on the new moon and also the full moon, these are going to be your best shots at catching a truly massive fish. You're going to want to fish 3 days before and 3 days after. Now, tomorrow actually is going to be Thursday. This is like the best time ever to go fishing for a trophy bass. You're actually going to have a full moon phase, and then you have storms coming up the following day. Big fish usually like to eat up right before the storm. It just turns them on. And also, guys, you have major fishing periods, and also you have minor fishing periods. Swatty, what's going on, buddy? So, guys, whenever you have these major fishing periods, that is a time where you want to be in the best spot on that lake that you think your odds are to catch a giant fish. A lot of times, guys, if you catch a giant fish in one spot, that usually is a residential fish. It's something that kind of draws them into that particular area. So, guys, when you have these moon phases and like the full moon and new moon, you want to be in that best spot ASAP when that major feeding occurs. This year, when I actually caught some of my biggest fish on one day, it was actually the new moon phase, man. And I was in the best spot on that particular pond, man, in the deepest water. And I got 3 or 4 big bites in one general time period. Now, let's hop in some of these questions, guys, and comments. I don't want to leave anybody behind. And we'll just go in some more details. And if you guys have any more questions regarding the weather phases, what to do on cold fronts, muddy water, anything, just climb in and let me know, and I'll be glad to answer. All right, let's get into these questions. Cool, cool. All right, Corey, what's happening, bro? Good to have you in the house, man. Paying thanks, man. Swatty's in the building. Paying 11.4 is humongous, man. That's 2 more pounds bigger than my personal best, man. So hopefully soon that'll happen for me, man. Like I'm gonna be grinding this year, man. So Thursday and Friday is gonna be an opportunity for me to catch a truly massive bass. I'm probably gonna be hitting it pretty hard tomorrow and also Saturday and Sunday maybe. So these are some of these days I'm actually gonna be looking forward trying to catch a trophy bass. You can catch a trophy bass at any times, but on those new moons and full moon phases, that's gonna be your best shot. And what's up, boy? Good to have you in the house, man. D, let's see, you fishing in the AM or dusk? Tomorrow I'm probably actually gonna start fishing around probably about 10 a.m. The spot I'm going, I have a little bit of a drive, but the peak times I think tomorrow the fish is gonna be between 10 a.m. and I think 12, then also later at night. So guys, truthfully, my biggest fish I've ever caught have came between pretty much like 10 and 1 p.m. Oddly, one of the biggest fish I ever caught was in the heat of the summer, and it was probably 2 o'clock, 95 degrees. It's crazy, but that is how it works out sometimes. Let's see, I had one more question. Let me hop into that. Let's see. All right. All right, Corey says, help me with muddy water. All right, so cool. Whenever you have muddy water, you want to throw a bait that's going to actually create movement within the water. Also, something that's going to have some flash. For me, with muddy water, one of my favorite baits is going to be a spinnerbait, a chatterbait, and also a lipless crankbait. This time of year, lipless crankbaits could be killer. The crawfish color is a great color. And with the lipless crankbait, if you get one that rattles in it, it's gonna make some noise. The crawfish color is orange and it's gonna stand out. So with the lipless crankbait, you can rip it up and down. You can do a straight retrieval. Now with the chatterbait, it's great for muddy water because it creates so much vibration in the water. And also if you have grass, you can fish it right above the grass. So those are probably my top 3 muddy water baits. The spinner bait, if you're gonna fish the spinner bait in muddy water this time of the year, it's gonna be slow. You're gonna wanna be dragging it, not dragging it literally, but you're gonna be want to slow roll it right on the bottom of the actual bottom of the pond or river, whatever type of area you're gonna be fishing. So that's probably some of the better tips I have right now for fishing muddy water. Muddy water this time of year can be a challenge, but you still can catch them. All right, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, right now, as far as me probably fishing, I prefer muddy water. I'm just more used to it versus super clear. Super clear can be kind of a challenge for me. Still says, what's your best advice on cold water? Sometime in cold water, you have to fish slow. Um, Slow baits, I do pretty well sometimes with a shaky head, a jig. Only problem with a jig sometimes is if you're fishing in an area that has a lot of grass, sometimes the grass can get in your way. But what's worked best for me as far as cold water, lipless crankbaits do really well for me in cold water, jig does, and like a shaky head. That's probably some of the best baits for myself for cold water. All right, guys, let me get back into some of these other comments that we have on here. Let's see. What's your favorite bait to use during a new moon? That depends on the time of year. I guess for right now, one of my favorite baits that I would be throwing would be a lipless crankbait. This lipless crankbait this time of year catches giant fish. I usually love to throw it between now and like January and February. I feel like it's a great bait. Also, don't forget about the swim jig. The swim jig could be really great too. It's kind of a subtle bait. You can fish it near the bottom of the water column and it gets crushed. So for right now, I'm gonna say, you know me, I love throwing the chatterbait. I throw that thing pretty much year round. All my big fish have been caught on that. But lipless crankbait, I would say, is killer right now. And I'm gonna definitely be having one tied on this weekend. I guarantee you. Crawfish color probably either some type of bait fish color imitator. Also, guys, for you, this time of year, what is your goal for 2020? What do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish? Whether it's fish new waters, catch giant fish, put down below, man, what you want to catch. Just give me kind of a heads up. Let's see, Robin. Can't be the crankbait. Robin, I know you love your crankbaits, man. Crawfish colored crankbaits are killer, man. Especially flat-sided crankbaits. This time of year when it's actually cold with that subtle action to it. Proud dad. One more weekend of chasing them and the deer jump back on the water. Good luck to you, man. Hopefully you shoot a giant deer, man. Let's see, Robert. I want to catch a 15. What's up, bro? Hey, a 15 would be insane. That is a humongous size bass. 210 bass on what's happening, man. Bass propaganda. I want to catch a 20-pound bag. That is legit, dude. Corey says giants. I want to catch a fish at least a week. That is all solid, guys. Shiner, what's up, man? I'm about to come down there. You have to teach me how to catch a fish on a shiner. That should be one of my goals. Let's see. Let's see, Mr. Ballstick. Thanks for chiming in too. Let me get back to some of these statements you guys had before also too. Robert's at a 15. Actually, Robert, this year, man, my goal for myself is a 13 pounder. I would love to catch a teener. A 13 pounder would be legit for me, man. That is one of my goals. I think some of these bodies that I fish have 13 pounders in them. I'm just gonna have to work super hard and be on top of the moon phases, guys. Once we get into that pre-spawn area, usually between February and April, that is gonna be your best shot at catching a giant fish. These big females move up. Oftentimes they're going to be on bed. Some people like bed fishing, some people don't. But also with bed fishing, that is the time to actually see how good of a caliber fish that you actually have in your bodies of water. So that time of year I fish all the time. You can go to new spots and see, all right, cool, that's an 8 pounder, that's a 9 pounder on bed, that's a 12 pounder. Now you know like that spot has big fish, and that's going to be an area where you want to fish at. Favorite chatterbait, man. I got 3 favorite chatterbaits that I actually use. The Venice bait one. I actually work with the Venice baits. That's my favorite one. I have caught all my big fish on that one. Now with Z-Man, I like the jackhammer also. It has a really hard like shake to it. And also I like the Gimme Lures. Also, they have a chatterbait. That's my top 3. So with Z-Man, I have to say the Jackhammer and also Project Z. I used to throw all the time, and the Venice baits. Those are my top 3. But with chatterbaits too, I must say too, I got a few colors that I love. I love a white chatterbait, especially during the shad spawn. Also, guys, whenever you have dirty water and you're throwing a chatterbait, black and blue or white are amazing. And for the Venice baits, they have a bluegill color with a gold blade. Gold blade, and when you're fishing lures that have gold on them tend to stand out in that dirty water. So just a couple more tips as far as fishing dirty water. Let me get back in some more of you guys' goals. Let's see. We're watching you on TV. Hopefully I can hold it down for you guys, man. The shining guy, come on down. I'm gonna have to one day, man. You know, I like coming to Florida, man. You guys have those giant fish down there, man. And it's addictive to go down there and fish because every time I go down there, I always know I have the opportunity to catch a double-digit bass. That is the goal, to catch a double-digit bass. So, guys, for me, one of the goals this year is to catch a 45. No, sorry, not 45. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, my goal was to catch a 45-pound bag. My top 5 bass to be 45 pounds. Truthfully, the last half of this year was better for me. I caught better fish the last half. And during the spawn, I didn't really catch anything over 6, which is surprising. Usually I do pretty well then. But guys, when we do get into the time period when fish actually get on bed and start moving up, new moon and full moon is going to be your best. A lot of times your biggest females actually move on bed near the first full moon when you get over 65 degrees. All right, Proud Dead. Let me get into your comment. Let me hop back into that. Give me 1 second, guys. Let's see, Proud Dead. Can you do a video on how to cast a bait caster? I'm more of a spinning guy. I want to learn the bait caster. I have one, but casting always goes to my left, and I'm right-handed. Let's see. All right, I have to look into making a video as far as how to use the bait caster. I know at first it can be kind of tricky, but once you get it down, man, you would never want to put it back down. Pre-spawn cranking is where it's at. You can get some big girls. That is right, Rogan. You can, man, especially crawfish and fishing in areas that have deep water, that have really close access to shallow water. The shiner got caught my first DD last year in late May, 10 pounds, 7 ounces. I saw that video, man. That was a giant, man. And I can't imagine catching one on video, too. Let's see. Smashbox. Are you in Georgia? Yes. I live in Athens, Georgia. And usually I fish kind of all around Georgia, man. It's really cool spots to fish in Georgia, from trouts all the way down to the Flint River to shoal bass, all around, man. So I move around and fish a lot of different areas. With the bait caster, man, make sure you get your lure on the bait caster to where it barely falls down at first, and use your gauges on the right side. Usually it ranges between like a low end, like maybe like free, you may say free, all the way down to the highest setting far as control. And if you put it on free, man, you can mess up super easy. If you put it on the hardest setting, at that point, your casting is not going to go as far, but you have less chances of bird nesting when you get into your bird sorry, you get into your bait caster. All right, let me get back into these comment, guys. Let's see. I'm looking for some new spots. Cool. I mentioned it. Gwinnett. Cool. I fished in Gwinnett a couple times. I really don't know too many spots around that particular area. I fished Arabian Mountain. If you want to go check out one of those videos, I have a couple of friends that fish around the Atlanta area also too. D says, I'm in Georgia. I thought you were in Arkansas for some reason. No, not Arkansas, man. I heard Arkansas has some amazing river fishing, but never been there. One day I may check out Arkansas, but definitely I am a Georgia boy, man. Tried and true. So, guys, yeah, for me, one of the goals is for a 45-pound bag. Also, another goal is I want to catch a smallmouth this year, and also I'm supposed to be actually going up north to catch a giant snakehead. So those are some of the goals this year. So it should be pretty interesting. All right, let's see. We have one more statement for the shiner guy. Baitcasters are awesome. Just need to get them dialed the way you like them. Baitcasters are absolutely awesome, especially for things like flipping and pitching. If you ever make it down to Florida, you want to have a baitcaster for that grass. It is insane. So yeah, baitcasters are quick and convenient. Love to use them. I throw my spinner setup less and less, but for lightweight setups and lightweight lures, it is hard to beat a spinning setup. Trying to chime back into what we were talking about earlier, guys, as far as the weather conditions, especially when we start getting into the pre-spawn conditions. Once you hit that 65 degrees, that is the magic temperature where fish actually start getting on the bed. Usually you have the males move up first, and usually the females are pretty close by too. And like I said, full moon and new moon, those are going to be the chances where you actually see a lot of females and male bass move up and actually get on bed too. Far as your general fishing, some of the the best fishing can be had back in full effect, man. We had an issue for a couple minutes, but we are back in this thing. All right, now as far as what I was saying, as far as the new moon and full moon, that's gonna be your best bets in catching giant fish. Proud there says I had a tournament on Chickamauga and had to use my spinning rod with a frog. Let me get back into that comment. The frog didn't like the way I gotta learn the bait caster. Yeah, once you learn the bait caster, you really like it, man. Especially with things like frog fishing, you can really try to horse those fish out of that cover. It's gonna be a lot easier um, with a bait caster, and also quicker too. And with a bait caster, also you can put more line on it usually, with heavier diameters. So once you get used to it, man, it won't take long. Go on a couple trips with just your bait caster and nothing else. I think you'd be pleasantly surprised. Let's see. Let me get back to the last comment. All right. Let's see. Concept Z, in my opinion, is the best. Can throw weightless worms with ease. Somebody else says, Victor said, Shimano all day. Yeah, those are all great brands. I used to use Shimano all the time. I use mainly Lures now. Shimano, 13 Fishing, Lures, they all make great rods and reels. Uh, and with a bait caster, throwing light, weightless presentations can be kind of hard too. And but one of says, what is your favorite knot for braid? Guys, truthfully, I'm working on some of my knots. I don't tie the most knots. I hear a lot of guys say the polymer knot, but for me, man, I just use one knot, and that's the approved cleanse knot. I know it's not the best for braid. I actually just been using it so long that I'm used to it, but I do plan on like learning more knots. But from what I hear, the polymer knot is gonna be one of the best knots for braids. And that's what everybody says too. As you guys say, the polymer knot. So polymer knot is probably the best knot for braids for what I hear. But I still use the approved clinch, and that's just because I'm used to it, and I'm not by any means saying it's the best knot. But I do need to learn the polymer knot. And for swimbait fishing, I actually want to learn how to tie the San Diego jam knot. Let's see. Shiner guy, I got a question for you, man, about using shiners. Uh, what is the best size shiner for trophy bass, as far as inch wise, and how do you prefer to hook them, if you don't mind me asking? Let's see. Abby Mo, what's up? Let's see, Abby Moore. What's going on, bro? Good to have you in the house, man. Robin says, I'm not sure what's harder to get, a double digit are those big bucks I've been out there. Man, I think both of them are pretty hard, man. That is no joke, man. I don't hunt much, but I have a lot of family who does, and I know that can be a challenge too. In double digits, I know for sure, man. I hooked into 4 double digits, and I haven't landed a single one. Those big fish, they fight hard. They're smart. I mean, they go to structure and they put a lot of pressure on your gear, so you gotta have the right gear. You gotta play them right, and don't freeze up. It can be a challenge to get a giant fish in. Truthfully, I caught the 9.48. I'm probably 1 for 3 on double digit fish this year. Just to be real. It's well no, 9.48 wasn't a double digit, but I'm probably 1 for 3, just being real. Let's see. DD Green said there's an out for fishing knots. I sit in practice sometimes while watching TV. That's a smart idea, man. I may have to try that too. Let's see. Smashing Fucks. What's your most preferred line for a bait caster? It depends on the presentation. Just being real on the bait caster. Um, if I'm throwing, let's see, if I'm punching or if I'm fishing with a frog, I'm gonna use braid, and usually I use 65 pound Power Pro braid. If I'm throwing my chatterbait, I actually use fluorocarbon, and I use Seaguar Red Label. If I'm throwing top water, I usually use mono, because mono floats, fluorocarbon sinks. So with mono, I just usually keep it simple and use Triling Extra Smooth. Those are probably the 3 lines I use the most. For the swim bait I use uh, 25 pound big game mono. Richard, what's happening, man? Happy New Year's to you. Let's see. Let's get back into some more of these comments. No problem, proud dead. Let's see. For you guys, what kind of line do you like to use? What kind of braid do you like to use? Let's see. Richard says, I'm from North Carolina. Good to have you in the house, man. North Carolina in the house, man. So yeah, those are the line I actually use. And I am constantly using new line. I swear I probably reline like every month. When you're pursuing big fish, you want to make sure you have a good line on there, because I mean, you don't want to break off on a potential double digit or to fish your lifetime. That line is the one thing that's, between you and your lure and that fish. So I re-spool all the time, and it gets expensive. It's probably one of the more expensive things that I actually have. Like, let me see. I got like 3 or 4 right here. Let's see. Seaguar Invisix, Seaguar Red Label, Trilan. So yeah, it definitely gets expensive, guys. You want to make sure you have good line. Power Pro 65. This is my preferred method as far as using my bait caster when I'm fishing jigs or when I am actually punching and whatnot. Let's see. Let's get back into these comment, guys. All right. Let's see. Okay, Angel says Power Pro most definitely. P-Line's legit, man. I use that a whole lot too. Proud dead. Roving. Ever tried a wooden crankbait? Not yet, Roving. Those things are expensive, man. It's like a swim bait. Let's see. Victor says, I don't use anything bigger than 10 pound. I caught my PB on 4 pound line. Woo, that's sketchy, man. I use 10 pounds sometimes. I use between 8 and 10 on my spinning setup, man. But if you're ever fishing in if you're ever fishing in a place that has lots of grass, you may want to use something a little bit stronger than actually 4 pounds or 6 pound test or 10 pound test. But that's true, man. You just have to play a fish if you're using super lightweight line. But it is fun. All right, Shiner Guy says, I caught 4 over 8 last year on shiners. I caught 1 hook in the lip under a cork near Hydrilla. Nice. The other 3 were hooked in the tail. Free lining and heavy cover. Really like to fish in 7 to 10 deep water around lily pads. Bigger around shot I can used to 5 to 8 inches. Wow, okay. All right, so that does make sense. See, a lot of the places that I go to in my area, people usually bass shiners. And, I haven't tried wild caught shiners quite yet. And most of the shiners I use, they were kind of maxing out at 4 inches. So I could see why having a shiner between 5 and 8 inches will actually catch fish. So thanks, man. I'm definitely going to try it out, man, and try to catch some wild shiners and, use that bigger bait, hopefully, to catch some giant fish. All right, let me get back into this. Let's see. Richard says Power Pro Braid. Same here, man. That's what I like. Realistic Fishing. What's up, man? 12-pound Omi Flex for the win, 179. Okay, cool, man. You put me on some game then, man. I could love to save some money, man, because, man, this fishing stuff is not cheap, man. Do you do any crappie fishing? I haven't done any crappie fishing this yet. I always said I was going to, man. I always said I'm gonna go crappie fishing, and I never do it, man. That would be an excellent catch and cook, man. So I may have to do some crappie fishing for real, man. And also trout fishing, guys. Trout fishing is definitely on my list to do. Let's see, Swatty. P-Line Fluoro, Power Pro Braid. I usually use the Bass Pro XL in mono 2500 spools. Just change out when I have memory. Appreciate it, Swatty. Let's see, Ivy. I can't fish at this time. It's cold in Wisconsin. Good God, man. That is super. You in Wisconsin? I bet it is cold, man. So when I get down there and fish in your lakes and ponds. So, man, hey, don't freeze up there, man. Wisconsin has to be no joke, man. Well, one day I do want to try ice fishing. This China guy, let's see, heavy cover and grass down here. I use 30-pound braid on my spinner reels and 50-pound on my bait casters. That makes sense, man. You're in Florida, man, and I know it is crazy down there, man. That grass is insane. Let's see, the China guy. Wild Chinas can be really expensive. That's why I catch my own. I don't blame you. Let's see, Corey Mack, do you have a drop shot set up? Corey, I don't, man. I don't use the drop shot too much. I know the drop shot is one of the best things I actually catch fish, especially when fish get finicky. But it's just not one of my preferred methods. This year, I'm actually going to probably start using the the Mag Ned rig. I'm actually going to use the Ned rig. I feel like I can catch fish on that, man, especially in high pressure areas. I want to give it a shot, man, especially from watching all those Mikey Balls video, man. I do killing fish on the Ned rig. Richard says, have you ever fished the Z-Man MR6? I caught a 5-pound bass in the years. Salutes, man. A 5-pound bass is legit, man. I haven't tried the Z-Man MR6. I have to look into it. Thanks for the heads up. I appreciate that. Abby said, I'm out here fishing. I use 20-pound braid on medium heavy rod just to get my BP in. Okay, 20-pound braid. That's not a bad idea at all. I use 30-pound braid sometimes, especially when I'm fishing jigs in spots that don't have a ton of grass. I like how you can actually feel the bait with braid just a little bit more. Braid is super sensitive, and it doesn't give me any too. All right, let's see. Kind of getting some of these other comments, guys. Went out today. Dear Slayer, 81, good to have you in the house. Went out today with the old lady and didn't even get a bite. Was the moon the cause? I don't know, man. It just depends on the area. You know, every body of water can be a little bit different. Now, I will tell you this, though. In the summertime, fishing the full moon can be brutal. In the summertime, whenever you have a full moon, I like to fish at nighttime because a lot of times what happens is during the summer, the fish feed up all night. So when you actually get there and fish during the day, sometimes the fish are already full. So that can be a hard way of fishing when you actually have to fish during the day, you know, after a full moon. So it really just depends. If you had a cold front, fishing is usually pretty rough after a cold front too, this layer. So it really just depends. That's what I tweak like today. I don't know if I know 100% what you were saying, Shiner. Summertime full moons can be really tough. They can, man. It can be super brutal, but at nighttime it can be amazing. Nighttime fishing, you know, during the summer on bright bluebird skies can be rough, but nighttime fishing during the full moon can be excellent. You can catch a lot of giant fish at nighttime. A lot of times too, guys, in pressure areas where you fish at, the nighttime bite can be even better because the fish can relax more. They're not getting hammered by people. It really helps. Let's see, Brian Hester, do you tournament fish any, man? This year I didn't fish any tournaments. Last year I tournament fished. Coming up this particular year, 2020, I actually may do some tournament fishing. I have a couple of buddies to do river fishing. I think that would be pretty cool to do a tournament on the river. And also some of the guys up here near the Atlanta area, Slayer Nation. I actually may do some tournament fishing with them out of my Pelican Bass Raider. So I think that would be fun just to mix it up a little bit. I don't do like the hardcore tournament fishing because truthfully, I just like to chase like giant fish and I like just to have fun doing that. Uh, it would be really hard to like win a tournament like using big swim baits. I like the power fish for the most part, like chatterbaits are my favorite baits, lipless crankbaits, big worms. I just like pursuing the biggest fish possible. Uh, but tournament fishing does seem like it would be super cool. Kevin, what's up, bro? What's your biggest five fish bag the past year? The biggest five fish bag was right at 40 pounds, man. I had three sevens, 8.9, and a 9.48. Like I said, this year, man, the goal is a 45-pound bag, man. This sounds crazy. I really want to catch uh, at least two double digits this year, and hopefully crack into potentially a teener. I'm gonna go hard, man, at the beginning of the year. Let's see. All right. All right, let me get in some of these questions. Sorry, guys, I'm just kind of catch up, man. Dear Slayer, I feel like it was today. Um, Autocorrect can be a challenge, man. Michael, you're right, man. I can't wait for bed fishing. Like I said, this year, man, I really didn't do good with bed fishing, and my best five went right at 40 pounds. Uh, just being real, guys, doing bed fishing, man, I actually had a 12-pound fish on bed that I couldn't get to commit. The fish was legitly 5 feet in front of me. It wouldn't lock down on the bed. I fished for 2.5 hours in the rain, and I actually had to go to work, man. It was the worst feeling ever to fish for a fish 2.5 hours in the rain. It was 12 pounds. It had to be at least 26 inches. And I couldn't get her commit. She wasn't fully locked down. I went back like 2 days later and she was gone. That sucked, but that was a 12-pounder. Yeah, yeah, yep. This year, hopefully, that changes. Let me get back into some of these statement, guys. All right, let's see. Camp says, Slayer Nation here. What's up, man? Yeah, I'm gonna try to link up with you guys this year and do at least one or two tournaments, man. I feel like it would be fun. Let's see. Victor, I never caught five fish in one day. Man, that really sometimes depends on where you fish at, man. Just to be real with you, a lot of my best fishing spots, I may go there and catch 3, 4 in a day. I had a few days before in my life where I caught 40, 50 fish. But a lot of the spots where you catch giant fish in, you may not catch but two or three in a day. And truthfully, man, the type of baits that I use, man, when I use my Advantage baits, I'm trying to find one. When I use my Advantage baits jawbreaker, it's at least 4.5, 5 inches. I'm throwing a bigger bait still, man. I'm throwing a 10-inch worm a lot of times. I'm throwing bigger profile bait, so I don't expect to get bit quite as much, but I do hopefully get a bigger fish. Like my goal is to catch bigger fish, throwing a lipless crankbait. I really don't throw anything that's too small. And like I said, I like throwing swim baits too. Like a lot of my bodies of water have shad. So this is an example kind of a shad presentation of a swim bait, multi-jointed bait. These work pretty good in dirty water, because they displace a whole lot of water. So I'm throwing bigger baits, looking for that bigger bait and that bigger fish. Let's see. So don't get down if you haven't caught more than five in a day, but on a new moon, if you time it right, man, right before a big storm when the fish is really eating, give it a shot, man. Start paying attention to your moon phases. I watch it religiously, and also check your weather. It definitely helps. Shauna guy says that is huge. It would be epic, man. And like I said, I had shots at big fish this year, and I couldn't get them. Proud Dad, how often do you fish? How often do you fish during spring and summer? I usually fish probably 2 times every week, sometimes 3 times a week. I try to fish a decent amount so I can get used to the body of water. One of the biggest things, guys, I would tell you that I actually do too, and I'm still learning. I'm learning. I have a body of water that I fish pretty much once a week or every 2 weeks. I've been doing the same body of water for probably 2 years, and I'm really just starting to figure this body of water out. But I fish it at least 4 times a month just to try to get clued in on what the fish are doing. And now through watching my videos, I can say, all right, this year at this point in time, the fish were here or they were biting on this. So that's what helps me out a lot of times filming these videos. I can go back and watch my old videos and find out what they were biting at this point in time, or I can go and say, hey, last year they were over here on this body of water, and last year I was over here on this body of water. So Get you a spot, learn it. You know, when they get on bed, you can find out how big the fish are there. You know, they got big fish. You know, fish that spot for a whole year and see where the fish move around and keep at it. You know, that's what helped me the most part so far this year. You know, on those tough bodies of water, they have big fish. Just fish it over and over and over. All right, let me get back into to some of you guys' statements. Kevin says, I only had 3 6s last year, about a 22 back from my biggest fab. That ain't bad at all, bro. I mean, 3 6s ain't bad at all. Um, yeah, keep hammering at it, dude, man. You know, that pre-spawn time is gonna be the best. I'm gonna be hitting it pretty hard, you know, February, because you know that's when a lot of your, you know, big fish are caught. March and April, like that's your time to catch giant fish. Let's see. All right, let me get back into some more of these statements, guys. Brad said, I want to swim bait fishing, but let's see, I want to go swim bait, but I have had a hard time catching stuff right now on the usual suspects. Cranks, A-rig, Carolina rigs. I thought swim baits were one bite a day type of deal. Yes, yes. Now, it depends. It's different. It's different levels to it. Kind of give you an example. All right, so a bait like this is 11-inch bait, and this is a 6-inch bullgill. This may be a once a month type bait. This may be once every 2 months. You can throw this bait right here for 2 weeks straight and not get a single bite. You can throw it for 3 months straight and not get a single bite. But on the right day, at the right time, you may throw it, you know, all day and catch 2 8s or 2 9s. You know, with swimbait fishing, you know, it's glorious a whole lot, like to be fun and to be epic. But a lot of these guys go like long periods of time without catching a fish. Now, just to be real with you, this one, the bull shad bullgill, you can go out with this one and you can get bit maybe every trip, every other trip, but it catches fish. If you guys are new to swimbait fishing, I would recommend the bull shad lineup. Those baits get bit. They're legit. They're not crazy expensive. They are around like 50 to 60 bucks for a swim bait, but they get bit. They get flat out bit. This bait is rough. It looks beat up. Still catches fish. I caught my biggest fish ever on this particular bait. And it was at 7.1 or 7.2. So good little bait. But this guy, you know, it takes time. You may not get bit. You may go 4 or 5 trips. You may go 3 months without a bite, but hopefully it's a big fish. The Shine guy said the Gambler Big Easy. That is a great bait. When I'm in Florida, I throw it a lot. When I'm around lily pads, I throw it a lot. You can actually fish it on top of lily pads, and it actually sounds like a whopper plopper. Or you can fish it on top of the lily pads, let it fall off the lily pads, and fish it in the water. Great bait. Fish blow up on it, hit it on top water, and also you can fish it subsurface too. So he's right. The Gambler Big Easy is a great bait. And also, guys, you can use the Kitex. You can use the Work Class Zero baits. Let me show you one of these. Give me 1 second, guys. Y'all got me on the swim bait talk now, man. Y'all in trouble. If I can find it, that is the key. All right, we back in business, guys. The Citizen. Next time I go down to Florida, I'm gonna be throwing this a whole lot. So this is the Citizen by Work Class Zero. Can I give you an idea? A weedless swim bait. It's snagless, meaning it shouldn't get snagged quite a lot. This is a 10-out on our beast hook in it. So this is a great swim bait, guys. Kind of reminds you of a shad profile. Really great for grass, and also really great for throwing it around laydowns or whatnot too. So this is a great bait too. This is a bait that you're probably gonna get bit on pretty good amount, and you can have confidence on. But swim baits are fun. They're challenging. You make a lot of trips without getting a bite. But for me, you know, work best is lipless crankbaits, worms, and chatterbaits. And I love throwing big swim baits. There's nothing like seeing a giant fish following a swim bait, hitting it and going sideways. best feeling in the world to see that big profile turn sideways. So let me get off the swim bait rant and get back to talking to you guys also too. Sorry about that. All right, let's get into y'all comments. Oh man, where my comments at? Sorry guys. 1 second. I think my comments almost disappeared. All right. I lost you guys. What is going on here? So yeah. But yeah, that pretty much sums up everything. Somebody send through a comment, man. Right now I'm not seeing any comments, man. I don't know what's going on with my YouTube right now. Let me see. Give me a couple seconds to try to figure out everything, guys, and we'll keep it going. All right. What is up with my messages? All right. Well, sorry about that, guys. I'm not getting any messages right now and everything. Yeah. Well, guys, I think my YouTube is acting crazy, man. I don't know what is going on. So I guess it's time to end it right now. I have definitely enjoyed the conversation, guys. I hope 2019. I mean, sorry, man. We in 2020 now. See, man, I'm all shook up. Well, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed 2020. I hope you catch giant fish. It has been great to talk to you all. Tight lines, take care, and we'll see you on a video soon.